All right, so lately I have just happened to have several transactions that involved sellers with solar panels. And just normally, especially throughout the summer, I get a lot of questions from sellers asking, do solar panels add value to my house? Or should I get solar panels? Is it a good idea to get solar panels in my house? The answer, like with many things like this in real estate, is it depends. It depends on your situation. It depends on, the cost. It depends on the energy generated. It depends on how much electricity you use. It depends on whether or not you're leasing, purchasing, or doing a hybrid. There's a lot of factors that go into solar panels, so a simple yes or no doesn't really cut it. What I do want to take the opportunity here to do, though, however, is to caution against getting solar panels unless it really benefits you. And here's why. The way that the solar sales industry is set up right now is that in the short term, for homeowners, for folks that may be looking to sell their home in the short term, 5 years or less, it really kind of puts a burden on the buyer when you're selling it, especially in the most common way of doing it, where you purchase the panels. I've been seeing a lot of transactions lately where the purchasing of the panels using a loan, again, they're not purchasing it outright, they sell it to you with a loan, they flash a low APR, they work in the monthly payment, and the sales folks make it look like you're going to be saving a huge amount of money per month. And the insinuation is that the buyers will understand this as well, and that's just not how it works out in the real world. Unfortunately, when a buyer looks at getting a house with solar panels that have a big balance, 30, 40, 60, I've seen up to $75,000 for the remaining balance of the loan for the solar panels, that's a burden that the buyer is taking off. So now, not only in most cases do they have to qualify for the loan for the house, now they have to qualify for an additional loan for the solar panels, and that's an additional monthly payment that they're incurring. So they're looking at this as a negative in many cases, not as a positive. Even if the buyers can fully understand the monthly payment, the savings, and how everything's going to shake out, and just believe that the same deal that the sellers got, they'll be able to carry over and get that, it's still seen as a burden to them in many cases. And in the past several transactions that I've had, except for one listing that I had, which just happened to be at a good time in a good neighborhood, the fact that it had solar panels with a high balance remaining on the loan really created a problem. It created a situation where the property stayed longer on the market than it should have and sold for less than it should have. Because buyers that most of them are not savvy on solar panels, so they get focused on the negative aspects of it, not able to realize the total picture. And this is something that I'd just like to caution all homeowners and sellers about, is make sure you really dig into the numbers and make sure you're looking at all the factors involved. Not only how it's going to affect your monthly payment, how it's going to affect your credit and your debt to income ratio, because it is a loan you're incurring, but also how it's going to affect the complexity of just getting your bills paid. Because now, in addition to your normal energy bill, now you have a separate payment that you have to deal with. In addition to worrying about the roof and the health of your roof, now you have a whole new system on top of that you have to be responsible for. You have to make sure that the solar panels are cleaned and maintained and that everything is working properly. Thankfully, solar panels affect your insurance payment very little, if any. Quotes I've heard from insurance providers that I've used, brokers that I've used for years, is that maybe you're looking at $100 to $200 a year, if any. So it really shouldn't affect your insurance in any great measurable negative way, but it does affect things that you have to do in terms of maintenance, responsibility on your home, and your finances as well. So before you sign on the dotted line, when you're sitting down with that solar salesman who typically knocks on the door in the summer when it's 110 degrees out and you just had a $500 or $600 bill, make sure that you fully understand everything you're getting into. You're looking at it from all sides. And I would definitely recommend that you consult someone who has gone through the process before, especially someone who has sold their house after getting the solar panels put on. That's going to be a great resource for you to help you understand what you're getting involved in and to set your expectations. At the end of the day, the decision is yours, but I always want you as a homeowner to make the best decision possible.